Yo, what is good, everybody? My name is the Coaster King, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 most underrated roller coasters that I've ever been on. So, quick disclaimer, I have not been on every roller coaster in the world, nor have I been on every roller coaster in the United States. So, a coaster might be super underrated, but I haven't probably have not been on it, so that's wouldn't know that it's underrated. Starting off at number 10, I have Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster, of course, at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Now, in a lot of people's videos, I hear them talking about how this coaster is the worst RMC and how these Raptor clones are overrated and not that good. I find this ride to be extremely fun. You get a lot of airtime, it's very intense, very quick, and it's overall a great ride. I think that people like to hate on it just because, in comparison to rides like Steel Vengeance, sure, it's not as good, but it is an amazing ride. And although it's the second best RMC in the park, it's still a top 10 ride in the Six Flags chain. Number 9, we have Orion. I think Orion is a great ride, and people often hate on it for no reason. Sure, it doesn't have the stats as it maybe could have. Sure, it doesn't have the stats of Fury 325, but it's still an amazing ride. I think it is far, 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 far better than Millennium Force, and don't think there's any debate there. This ride gives you a lot of great airtime. It's perfectly smooth. It has a lot of great moments. I love the wave turns. And sure, it's not as long as many people want it to be, or not as tall as many people want it to be. But still, it's an amazing ride. The only reason it's down here at number 9 is it's still pretty hyped up. This ride, as everyone knows, is generally pretty good. So I couldn't put it at number 1, number 2, just because it's already known to be pretty good. It's just, in my opinion, a little underrated. Number 8 here is a similar story. Great Bear is a commonly loved ride. A lot of people like it, but I think it's still underrated. I still hear people saying that rides like Raptor or even Alpengeist are better than Great Bear, and I just don't see that. I think Great Bear is an awesome ride. It really uses its terrain well. I love how it interacts with the water and all the other rides in the park. Great Bear offers a lot of great elements. I love the airtime that you get. And honestly, I think this ride is genuinely underrated and it's better than a ride like Raptor. Number 7, I have the Superman Hypers, specifically the ones at Six Flags America. Now, this ride is so much fun. I hear people talking all the time about how it doesn't give any airtime, it's intense, it's not intense, it's pointless, but I just don't see it. I think the rides at Six Flags America and Six Flags Darien Lake, those two clones there, are very fun. They offer some great elements, offer some great airtime, and are really underrated. Honestly, I'd rather take them over the Magnum XL 200. Hate on me all you want, but that's what I'd rather do. Number 6, I have Comet at Hershey Park. Now, this ride is one that literally no one ever talks about. But let me tell you right now, this ride is extremely long and gives you some great airtime. It's decently rough, but it's still an amazing ride. The fact that it's still this good after all this time is actually insane. This ride offers some great moments. I love once again how long it is. Honestly, it's probably the only ride in Hershey Park that's a good length. It overall is an amazing ride. I would say maybe the best wooden coaster in Hershey Park. I think that's a definitely at least debatable idea there. But overall, I mean, just some great airtime, great length, great ride. Number 5, I have Gatekeeper at Cedar Point. Excuse me. Um, Gatekeeper is a great ride. People often never talk about it, or they say I've heard people call this ride overrated, but I honestly think it's underrated. Gatekeeper great offers some great elements. Sure, it's not very intense, and sure you don't get that many forces applied on you, but it's an awesome ride. I love how it interacts with the park. It obviously looks really pretty. A while ago, I made a video on the top 10 best color schemes on a coaster, and I think this was number 1 or 2. This ride just looks really good. It honestly rides really well. Sure, you're not going to get thrown out of your seat like Sky Rush or gray out like I-305, but honestly, this ride is a lot of fun, and it's just overall a great ride. Number 4, I have Fahrenheit at Hershey Park. Fahrenheit is really a great ride. Honestly, no one ever talks about this ride, and no one ever gives it the credit it deserves. There's just one airtime hill at the end of the ride that literally gives you Sky Rush level ejector. The ride is so much fun. It offers so much. The drop is great. It gets some great airtime. So gets some great hang time, especially if you're in the front. I think actually, I can't even tell you if the front or back is better because they're honestly both great. I think this ride is one of the better rides in the park. Um, you can make a debate that it's better than Storm Runner. I don't think it's better than Cannonmonium or Skyrush, but I think this ride definitely deserves to be talked about a little more. Number 3, I have Griffin at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Now, coming into this park, I was expecting Apollo's Chariot to be so great and Griffin just to be an average ride. If you saw my video about 2 days ago, I made it was about the top 10 most overrated coasters. Spoiler: Apollo Chariot was on that list, and Griffin just blew me away. Griffin was so much fun, by far better than Valraven. Awesome ride. You get some great airtime, some great hang time. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really have no complaints with Griffin. I think it's actually in my top 20 personally, which is kind of crazy because literally no one ever talks about Griffin as being a great ride. But if you go to this park, you have to know that this ride is amazing and you should expect great things from it. Number 2 is Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure. This may be a little bit of home park bias, but honestly, this ride is so good. Like, this ride is hated on by enthusiasts compared to other B&M hypers. There's no way, I'll say it right now. There's no way that Diamondback is better than Nitro. It's just not a thing. Nitro is a better ride than Diamondback. No one will ever say that, but honestly, that's how it is. Nitro offers some great airtime. Those airtime hills at the end are absolutely phenomenal. They're so much fun. Has some great floater airtime. I'm sure it's on the rougher side, but it's a little old. It's not going to have the same smoothness as a Mako or Cannonmonium is, but still, it's an amazing ride. Love it and think it's underrated. Number 1 is Shockwave at Six Flags Over Texas. Now, coming to this park, I had no idea really about this ride. Honestly, I just knew it existed and didn't really know too much about it. This ride it's so intense. Those 2 loops make you gray out every time, and you get thrown out of your seat for the rest of the ride. Let me tell you right now, this ride is so unbelievably underrated. It's gotten some hype lately. I know Coaster Studios made a video on it, but it does deserve more hype. This ride is honestly the second best ride in the park and probably a top 5 ride in Texas. It is so good. It's up there with New Texas Giant. Offers some great airtime, some great forces. Really, really underrated. That's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. Stay tuned for more videos in the future and let me know in the comment section what you guys want to see and any advice you have for me. Be good.